Welcome Wonders to Told You Wood Colors. My name is Jennifer and today I'm going to be making a color tag video for the hashtag November Mad Tea Party 2025, and November is shortened to NOV. I'll put it up on the screen. So for one of the events that me and the other ladies have created was a color tag. The other ladies are Jamie from Finding Joy in Color, Rachel from Crafting Mama Bear, and Julianne from Julianne Annette Art. And all of us came together to come up with ideas for what we would do for the month of November for Alice in Wonderland. And we all thought a color tag would be a really fun activity to do as well for this month. So I have a list of 11 questions, and as I go through them, I'm going to color a page while I answer the questions in Mythographic Aviary by Joseph Catimbang. And the page that I chose works really well for our Alice in Wonderland bingo board because we have a flamingo and we have roses. So this will check off 2 boxes on the bingo board. So I'm gonna sit and color with you guys while I answer these 11 questions, and I am going to tag Jamie, Rachel, and Julianne to do this color tag video next. So I'm gonna start coloring the flamingo here and answer question number 1 a while. So question 1 is, would you follow the white rabbit down the rabbit hole like Alice did? And my answer to that, as much as I love Wonderland, I really put it in a realistic perspective, and I thought to myself, no. I think I would actually be either curious about the rabbit but not enough to follow it down a dirty rabbit hole, but I'd probably be scared too. Like, what is that rabbit doing? Why is he wearing a waistcoat with a pocket watch? What is happening? So honestly, my honest answer is no. I don't think I would. I'm a neat freak. I like being clean. So just thinking about going down a rabbit hole grosses me out. So I don't think I ever would have made it to Wonderland, which is a shame because I definitely think I would love my time in Wonderland. So answer to number 1 is no. I don't think I'm getting on my knees and hopping down a hole to chase a rabbit, realistically. So then question number 2 is, what would your number 1 rule be if you were Queen of Wonderland? Now, this is an interesting question. It's kind of hard to come up with a rule, but you really have to think of what your Wonderland would look like, or what your favorite things are and what you would want everyone to do. Now, you have to think it is Wonderland. So it is a bit of a silly place, and that's what I went with. I didn't come up with, you know, like a really important safety rule for everyone to follow. I came up with a fun rule in my mind, and my rule would be that everyone would have to own a pig. It would be the number 1 rule. And if you don't own a pig, then off with your head, I guess. No, if I was Queen of Wonderland, I would not cut off anybody's head. But if it was unlawful to not have a pig, then you would face consequences, I suppose. I just haven't come up with what those consequences are. So, yeah, everybody's got to get a pig, and I'm pretty sure there would be a lot of people who would want to overrule me. But pigs are so cute. They really are. They're sweet little things, and I think it would be really cool to live in a land where it was just the common thing to own a pig. So that would be my number 1 rule. And then number 3, what other holidays do you think Wonderland celebrates besides Unbirthdays and Frabjous Day? So this is my thoughts directly to how I interpreted the movie. And when I watch it, when they talk about unbirthday parties, it kind of seems like the Wonderland creatures came up with the unbirthday party. And so I thought, well, if they came up with unbirthday party and they celebrate that every day that it's not their birthday, then I feel like they would also have other holidays for themselves that includes just celebrating being them. So I picture them celebrating a day for like the smaller nobodies in the land of Wonderland. So because the queen doesn't really seem like she cares about any of them, she doesn't know much about them, she doesn't take her time to go visit the land and make sure everybody is well, I feel like the creatures of Wonderland take it upon themselves to look out for each other, and they celebrate a day for themselves. So that's what I picture another holiday being in Wonderland. It's just them all getting together and celebrating for themselves. And then question number 4 is, who would you want to spend your time with most in Wonderland? So this is tricky because there's another question coming up that also is similar but different at the same time. So it is tricky to answer this. Who would I want to spend my time with most? And you also have to think of, is it just the animated or just the live action? You can pick whoever you want from either. And I would say I really like the Dormouse in the live action movie. She's very powerful, and even though she's small, she's mighty. And she's just got a good head on her shoulders. So, and she's funny too. And fun, you know. So I think she would be really cute to hang out with all the time, although I would be afraid of losing her because of how small she is. But I feel like a lot of the characters in the live action would be fun to hang out with, just because there's more of a relationship with those characters that was built in the movie than in the animated movie. So in the animated movie, you basically have Alice losing her mind trying to chase this white rabbit, and nobody is helping her get her mind back. In fact, they're all pretty much just making her more insane. But that being said, if you really just take a moment, if she wasn't so worried about chasing the rabbit and she just hung out for a little bit, I think she would have a lot of fun with the Mad Hatter. And that's just like the number one person that I would want to hang out with is the Mad Hatter. He's fun, he's silly, he seems like a good time, he offers tea, you know, that's really awesome. So yeah, I think I would want to find myself in company with the Mad Hatter more often than not. He's pretty cool. And then the next question is, do you love to sing? And would you join a choir of singing flowers in Wonderland and try to get solo part? So this depends on how good of a singer you think you are. I love to sing. I absolutely love to sing. So yes, I definitely would want to join a choir, but I don't think I would want to try out for solo part at all. No, thank you. But count me in for singing along with all the flowers. I think that would be so fun. And I would love to spend, you know, some afternoons in the garden, practicing for some, event to host for all the other Wonderland creatures. So yeah, I think that would be really fun. But no, I don't think I would try to go solo. I'm not that good or confident in myself for singing in front of people. So, but I love to sing. I love to dance. I love music. And yeah, I think that would be really fun. As long as the flowers are nice to me, If they start bullying me, I probably would cry and go back home. Don't call me a weed. So yeah, I think that would be really fun. So would you sing with the flowers, and would you try to get solo part? I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on that. And then the next question, question number 6 is, would you want to find your way out of Wonderland, or would you want to stay? So I feel like if this question was asked to me years and years ago, before I had kids, and when I was really into the movies, like when the live action movie came out, I think in 2011, I watched it nearly every single day, and I loved it so much. And yes, I was still in high school, and I absolutely loved the idea of just going to Wonderland and hanging out with everyone and adventuring. You know, I would just want to adventure. Like, I wouldn't care about chasing after the white rabbit. I would just want to go out and see as many things as possible. I think that would be so fun. So I would definitely want to stay if it was back then, but now, you know, I'm grown, I have a family, I have responsibilities. I'd have to find my way out if I ended up there. And then question number 7, who would your best friends be in Wonderland? So this is what I meant by, it's a similar question to who would you want to spend your time with in Wonderland, but who do you think your best friend would be in Wonderland? And I think the Cheshire Cat would be. I think the Cheshire Cat would be my best friend. Just because he's always there when you need him, you know? He's always popping up, causing chaos for the most part, but he is always there when you need him. So I would definitely love to have him as my friend. Would I want to hang out with him all the time though? No, I wouldn't. And that's why I went with the Mad Hatter or the Dormouse for that question. I feel like they would be fun to hang out with, but the Cheshire Cat would be a good friend. So that answers that question. And now, where are we at? Question number 8. Which movie do you prefer, animated or live action? There are a lot of different movies. So I just said animated or live action on the questions, but you could answer to any Alice in Wonderland movie. Which one do you prefer the most? Because there are a bunch of different renditions of it, but I think the Tim Burton live action would have to be my favorite. I pretty much know that movie by heart, line by line, because like I said, I watched it every single day. I just popped it on. What am I going to do now? Oh, I'm going to watch the movie. The movie's over? Well, we're just going to watch it again. So I watched that movie so much that I pretty much know every single line. I love, like I said, how the characters are, they build relationships, you know, the relationships with these characters are built more. It's not just a nanosecond with them causing havoc and mayhem in Alice's mind, even though they are good at doing that too, but they do help her. They help her grow as a person, and they help her find her way of where she needs to be, even though she's really confused and lost. And I do like how they added more of the characters from the book. I like how there was the slaying of the Jabberwocky and all that. So it just seemed a lot more movie-like. And I know the animated one is, you know, obviously directed towards kids, and they need to move it along faster and have a faster pace for the kids to pay attention to it better, and all the songs and this and that. So it is so cute. I really do love the animated Disney movie for Alice in Wonderland, but the live action would be my favorite watch. So we are going to be watching both movies here with the kids this month. So I will let you know by the end of the month how many times we've watched it, because talking about it so much, it might make me want to watch it quite often. And I do that a lot. Whenever I'm really into a movie, I just keep watching it instead of moving on. So yeah, so the live action by Tim Burton would be my favorite. And then question number 9, if you could continue to return to Wonderland and reality, like back and forth whenever you wanted, would you continue to visit Wonderland? And yes, I definitely would. If it's free and I could go back whenever I wanted, I would definitely want to hang out in Wonderland from time to time and go hang out with, like I said, if you make friends with the Cheshire Cat, like you want to go back and see your friends and hang out. And it does seem like a place where you could go on so many adventures and just have a good time. So yeah, I don't know how time works in Wonderland, how much time passes in the real world while you're in it. So all that goes into effect of how long I would stay. And I would definitely bring along the family, you know, have birthday parties and unbirthday parties there. Like, come on, everybody, let's go to Wonderland. What do you want to do today? Let's go to Wonderland. So I definitely, for sure, would go back, but I wouldn't want to stay there. Maybe if I had my whole family, I would try to convince them to stay in Wonderland. I don't know. If it was under the Queen's rule, though, that would be unsafe. So probably not if she was still in rule. But yeah, I would definitely want to visit. So question number 10, what is your favorite treat or snack to have with tea or coffee? So only sometimes I have tea. I haven't had tea in a long time, and when I did, it was in the pods that you could make in your with your what's it called, like Keurig machine. We had one at work, and they would order teas for us. So sometimes I would drink the teas during like the winter time, but not very often. So I would say I'm definitely a regular coffee drinker, and I think I'm pretty simple to the point where I just like to have cookies with my coffee. I love cookies. I love sweets. And yeah, when we get cookies in at work, I'll make myself a cup of coffee and have it together. I just think that is so tasty. So chocolate chip cookies, that's probably my go-to to have with my coffee. And I love dipping in like any kind of cookie into my coffee, like biscuits, like, what am I trying to think of? Biscottis. That's what I meant instead of biscuits. I meant biscottis. But yeah, I think biscottis are so good in coffee. And I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm a sweets girl, so cookies and coffee with a lot of sugar in it sounds really good to me. So that would be my go-to. And then question number 11, it's the last question. If you could, would you want to grow and shrink whenever you wanted? Because Alice has those eat me cookies and drink me bottles throughout the movie, so she's constantly growing and shrinking. Is that something that you wish that you could do, and would you do it constantly? I definitely think I would want to shrink just a little bit. I'm not that tall. I'm 5'5", but I wish I was shorter, because I feel like everyone around me is shorter than 5'5". So I would want to be at the same level as everyone else, which I think average might be around like 5'3", 5'2" for all my friends, something like that. So yeah, just a couple inches shorter, and I would be happy. So if I could find myself a bottle that says drink me on it, I definitely would, and have a little sip and drink a little bit. But I'm sure there are cases where I would want to grow again to reach something or get something that's high up. So I think the idea is really neat, but we do have answers and solutions for that by getting ladders and whatnot. because I think the problem comes down to your clothes. When you grow and shrink all the time, you would have to have a huge wardrobe, and I already have a big enough wardrobe. I don't need more. So, yeah, I think I would want to shrink a little bit, but then from there, I'd probably want to just stay at that height and continue to use a ladder for the stuff high up. But yeah, that would be my answer to that. So that concludes all the questions to the Alice in Wonderland color tag. And as I stated, I am tagging Jamie from Finding Joy in Color, Rachel from Crafting Mama Bear, and Julianne from Julianne Annette Art. So I'm so excited to hear the answers to your questions and see what you're able to maybe color or go through books or whatever you want to do while you answer your questions. I'm so excited to see it. So I'm going to wrap up this page, and you'll get to see it in my completed pages for November, and I'll get to post this, pin it to the bingo board for Flamingo and Roses. So really excited about that, and if I do get this finished, it will be my first completed page in a Mythographics book. So I started simple. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great and colorful day. Bye.